If you are to talk about an Indian sportswoman and a superstar in the same breath, it is just one name that comes to your mind. It's Sania Mirza. She's almost at the end of a legendary 2-decade-long career where she's ending her sensational career in tennis, where she took Indian tennis to sizzling heights. I am joined by her at this hour ahead of her last WTA tournament to talk about life in tennis. And after, thank you very, very much, Sania, for joining me. Lots of emotions at the end of the Australian Open. You normally are very controlled. We've never seen you cry in the public before. Are you feeling a lot settled now?
Yeah, I'm settled. I was only overwhelmed at that moment. I had a lot of emotion for the last, for a bit, but more for the last 2 weeks, because I knew it was going to be the last time I'll be at my favorite slam. It was just, I couldn't believe, and I was so full of gratitude that I got to play in a Grand Slam final in my last match over there. So many things. There were so many things going through my head, and not knowing that I'm not going to come back and compete there ever again in a Grand Slam match. And it was just a lot to have my family there, to have my son there, to do it with Rohan. It was just so many factors involved in all that for me to lose control like that, which I don't usually cry in front of a lot of people.
Sania, you played a very tough semi-final match, went into the final. What were the thoughts going into the final mentally? How tough was it to stay in the zone knowing that this was going to be your final match?
Actually, for me, that didn't really matter so much when I was competing. When I was on the court, I didn't really care if it was going to be my last or first. I wanted to win, and that's just because, even if I play like even if I play like Goti, I'm like, I want to win, that's who I am, like as a human being. It's just competitiveness is just something that's in me. So, when I was on the court, it was actually totally fine. I didn't really feel all those things because I was just worried about trying to win.
Well, the emotions didn't end with the end of the Australian Open. When you reached Dubai, there were some beautiful moments. Tell us when you reached home.
I know, it was so sweet. I was actually, usually I'm not very surprised because all my friends and family for some reason are really bad at keeping surprises and secrets, and I always know what's happening. But I was like, literally, I'm entering with his hand, and I had no idea. They kept it so quiet, and also that's probably because I was on a flight for like 14 hours straight away in the morning after I left. So they had that 14-hour time to like plan everything when I was not available. I was so nice. It was so nice to see all of them. There's, I've been living here obviously off and on for a few years, and especially over the last 4-5 years, spent a lot of time here. Izhan has started going to school in Dubai. So this is my second home, and I do spend a lot of time here. So I've happened to make some very, very good and close friends, which I'm very lucky to have, because when you move to a new place, it's difficult to find that kind of friendship and relationship, so, and for me especially, I don't trust very easily. I have like all these issues. So I had like 6 or 7 of my closest friends in Dubai who were there, and my sister organized it from Hyderabad. It was so lovely.
Now, we've seen a lot of wishes pouring in through your social media.
Just wishes, and knowing that, you have mattered, and you have mattered at some level. I think it's unfair to say this one was my favorite or that one was my favorite, but it is pretty cool to get a wish from Sachin Tendulkar. I'm always a fangirl and always will be, and I think that it's very nice when such a huge champion of our country acknowledges another person who has done something for the country and played a sport. So, but I think like everybody that has wished me, and I'm sure I've not been able to respond to everyone. I was very excited when Kajal messaged me because I was watching Kabhi Khushi Kabhi Gum when she messaged me, and I was like, oh my God, she messaged me. It's sweet. And I think that, I just feel like, I feel so blessed. I really do. So much gratitude, and appreciation does make you feel good. Everybody likes to be appreciated, and it feels really nice when it's coming from a lot of humongous achievers in their own field and own right.
Now, Sania, I was speaking to an under-19 girl, and asking her about role models. They just won the under-19 ICC World Cup. And she said Sania Mirza. Then I asked her, what about Sania Mirza do you like? She said, work ethic. And that was very interesting to me. What message do you give this next generation of women athletes?
Just that, this is just the beginning. I mean, the whole point of having a long and successful career, in my opinion, is to never be satisfied, to always want more. And the fact that she didn't say anything else, and she said my work ethic, which already makes me very happy, is because I think a lot of times people overlook the work ethic that goes into becoming a good athlete and a champion. I think they see the glamour and they see all that goes with it, but they forget how much work is actually going behind the scenes when we are not walking that red carpet for half an hour a day. It's that 5-hour toil that we are putting in. So I think I just want to tell her, wish you all the best. Congratulations. This is just the beginning.
Well, Sania, while a lot has been spoken about your ferocious forehand, your t-shirts, but not much about Sania Mirza, the thinker. We do know that you tend to think a lot and tend to overthink at times. But as an athlete, everyone says that it works the best when you keep it simple. How difficult or how delicate is this balance of thinking and keeping things simple at the same time?
It's one of the toughest battles that any athlete faces, I think, the mind. And I think that, the people talk about how much physical effort we put in and how many hours we practice and how many hours we are recovering and we're training. But not many people usually ask the question as to how many hours a day are you actually training your mind? How many hours a day are you telling your mind that you are better than everybody else? How many hours a day are you believing that you're better than everybody else, and that you want to be better than everybody else? So this is like a constant battle where you need to know how much to push, and then where do you draw the line of what is too much? And it's a constant struggle. And I'm not saying that you always will find that line, and because it's a very blurred line. But it's your team that helps you. It's your, it's your family. It's the people that are very, very close to you who kind of help you find that balance. And that's why I'm such a big believer that all work and no play is really not good. You have to, there has to be a little bit of fun, and family time and friends time. Like, I'm not one of those people who will be like, no, that, you just, the focus, like, you can't do that. It's just humanly not possible to do it.
Interesting. Work and play should go side by side. Sania, you've been the world #1 doubles player. You've been there for 91 weeks. What is the great understanding top doubles players should have?
I think just knowing that, first of all, trusting each other, and then knowing that, together you will consolidate your strengths and you will hide each other's weaknesses. It's almost like a married couple.
Sania, because of your touring schedule, you've practically been a single mother to Izan. How tough has it been managing as a single parent?
I mean, tough. I'm not going to say it's been easy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. It's been the biggest blessing in my life to have him, and it's become more and more challenging, obviously, as he's growing older, because he has an opinion, whether he wants to go, he doesn't want to go, he wants his routine at home. But he's such a competitive little boy. I mean, he hates losing. Like, he'll start crying. Like, I have to calm his competitiveness down. I'm like, listen, it's okay to lose, So it's been the biggest blessing, honestly, but it is hard. I mean, like any other thing, any other relationship, even parenting is difficult, but you have to find a balance where you are finding that work-life balance where you're like, okay, where am I? Like, the mother's guilt is real, which happens all the time. Any mother will tell you, sometimes I have to leave him. I went to Adelaide for 1 week. 1 week ahead, he came to join me in Melbourne. And every night I'm like, oh my God, like, he's not here, like, I'm not there, and he's going to school, and what am I doing? And that is a mother's guilt, and that's in our nature. So you have to just find that balance, and self-love in those moments is very important, to know that, you should love yourself, you should follow your dreams, mother or not, and it does not make you a bad parent, it doesn't make you a bad mother or a bad daughter or a bad wife to follow your own dreams.
Sania, let me ask you, do you divide your parental duties with Shoaib, or you're the one doing the heavy lifting?
No, we share. I mean, we obviously share the duties. It's his son as much as mine, no? So we have to be 50-50.
Sania, now that, we are talking about the end of a legendary career, but, I know a sports person is always a sports person. Is there another sports that you're taking up after this? Or where do we see you in the life after tennis?
I don't know if my body can handle that. Honestly, my body is going to be like, please, what are you doing to me if I play another sport? But tennis is really in my blood, and tennis has given me and made me who I am in every which way, including my personality. And I don't think I can ever go away from tennis, so to say. You'll still see me around in different capacities, but I will still be very much involved with the sport. And obviously, we speak so much about there's no system in place, there's no guidance in place for the young tennis athletes who want to become professionals. If anybody needs my help, I would be happy to help.
Thank you very much, Sania. Keep inspiring and stay inspired.
Thank you.